Greetings and salutations, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. What are you doing, man?
Putting my phone down.
That's
Can I
weird.
put my phone down?
I'm restarting because you're horrible.
What the heck? I just put my
Acting,
What are you doing, man?
acting suspicious on
I was
the
like,
set.
shit,
What
man,
was
we're
this,
in trouble.
2001?
Greetings and salutations, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This is the Toronto Show. We are on with Marlon Palmer, a.k.a. That Dude McFly. I call him Pretty Boy Flizzy after one of my favorite Boondocks episodes.
Still never understand that.
You did, because we had a whole moment about it. We talked
You
about
had
it.
a whole moment.
No, we had a moment.
I've never agreed
on
to
the,
this name.
on the end in the white sweater is
I wouldn't
Justin.
agreed.
Is Justin Brandon, who made his YouTube debut with our little Berete interview. He got a whole question in.
Yep.
A
I got his name
whole
right.
Question.
Yeah, and then he tried to ruin my interview. It's all good. All right, so we got Marlon here. This is kind of gonna be like the first real episode. We had the opportunity to interview Lil Berete right before he went on tour. Before we even planned to start the podcast, it was real dope. Kid from Regent. We really want to put on.
I just heard his music for the first time 2 days ago, and I was like, yeah.
I liked it. I found out about.
Yeah, I
it.
checked out like a few like live performance stuff and just seen he's got
Yeah,
a
energy.
huge
He
following
can dance.
already.
Yeah, he's on
Yeah,
tour
really.
right now in Europe.
Yeah, he's got a huge following already. That's
So
good.
like the goal with the podcast is to highlight like Torontonians that we really like. Like I imagine like back when I was 18, 17, I was thinking about like what am I gonna do next? Like there was like nowhere to go to find like the cool people doing things unless you knew them. So we want to put people like you on and kind of break down the process, break down your path. So first and foremost, where in Toronto were you from?
I'm from all over. I lived in Scarborough, like elementary school, beginning of elementary school, and then I moved to Maple, Vaughan, like across the street from
Before it got
Wonderland.
built up?
Fun times in Vaughan.
While
eh?
it was getting built up, like the initial
Okay.
times.
My niece lived there and it was just Canada's Wonderland.
like there was no grocery stores or anything like that. Yeah,
I remember when his son
I used to live across the street from
got
him.
of age, and I went to his birthday party at Canada's Wonderland. We got there, like, yo, there's like a
So much stuff
Moxie's
here.
or whatever there was. Like,
Yeah.
this
This
is
is everything now. This is everything now.
So how
yeah.
old were you when you were up there?
I moved there when I was in grade 7, and so I'd like to think that high school is wherever you lived at high school.
Is where you're from.
That's when you became a person.
And that's when you meet most of your friends.
I mean,
Like,
that's
we
when you
met in grade 9.
Wherever you get
Yeah.
pokey first is like
Yeah.
first.
That's true.
That's where
Wherever you
Well,
get
then,
pum pum first is where
your
you.
block.
That's your block.
That's your block.
Like let's be real.
That's fair. That's
If
true.
I
You're a
got
man here.
blocked, if I moved midway through high school and I got pokes in Saga, that's my
a
block.
Saga
now.
man.
I'm a Saga man. I planted
Faux
my
life.
roots. I've laid the
Faux
seeds
life.
of my foundation,
Faux life.
and now I'm here. So yeah, no.
So where'd you go to high school?
Maple High.
Maple High.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Nope.
No.
I thought you were going to say like somewhere
I
downtown.
moved to Maple. Where'd you go? Maple High.
Maple High.
I was actually the first student in the
On
school.
Springfield
What?
or Springdale or something like that?
Yeah, the school. Okay, so when I got there, we didn't have our public school, so we had to go to another school, and we just used their like outdoor. What do they used to call those?
Portables.
Portables. And then
They weren't
we got our
portable, though. They never
school
moved.
midway through the school year. Our school was finished being built, and we finally moved in there. So we were the first kids in our public school. Then Maple High, they're building the high school because they're like, oh yeah, these kids are gonna fucking graduate. We gotta, we gotta put them somewhere. Can't put them with the Catholic.
Bus them.
You couldn't put us at the Catholic schools. Too many white people. They're scared. So
Yeah.
they
So okay.
they
So
built
you
Maple
didn't
High.
go to like a religious. You went to public school.
Yes, always
Did you
public
grow
school.
up with a faith in
I'm
your house?
so happy I did not go to a Catholic school.
I'm so happy I did go to a Catholic school.
I'm
so
not. My mom went to church Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, so
Oh,
that I had enough God.
What happens in church on Wednesday?
What happens
there's
at church?
stuff happening
The same
every day
thing
at
on
church.
Friday, actually,
What
and
happens
Sunday.
in church on Friday?
The same thing that happens on
same
Sunday.
thing on Sunday.
I thought church
It's
was
just a little
only
bit
open
more
on
singing.
Sunday.
A little bit more singing. Sometimes they might
So
switch
what
it up
faith
on
was your mom?
Friday.
What faith was your mom?
She's Christian.
Okay.
She's Jamaican.
I
so
still don't
Yeah,
get
I'm
the
guessing
difference between
Fridays?
Christians and Catholics, though.
I don't
It's
get
the
the
same, but
difference.
they'll argue about it. Just
I don't
don't.
get it.
It's
don't
the same
start.
characters. They all just mean a
Don't
different
start.
importance to each person.
Different sects of the same
It's
gang.
like Mary really means something to
It's
the
like
Catholics.
the Sunni and Shiite of North America.
It's
Yeah.
a chicken and egg thing.
Basically, it is.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so my man's from Maple, and so like, did you like? Maple's far. Were you busting it down to Toronto?
No,
Like, how did you get into the
not
scene?
at all. I actually, funny enough, I think I learned the TTC subway system when I was 16.
Shoot.
So like, and that was to go to basketball practice. So
Where'd
it's
you
like, I played at the JCC Jewish
Oh,
Community
which one,
Center.
Bathurst?
But I
No
played
way.
with Blue Chips,
Spadina, I mean?
AAU. team back in
I
the
don't
day.
know. I was not in any teams.
Yeah,
I was too
I
violent.
wasn't on the team. I was way too young. It
I
was like
played for Moss Park. That was it.
it was like a 18-year-old team, but
Mm.
like my mom knew the coach, and so he'd let me just run drills with them and go through practice with
When
them.
you were 16.
Yeah, I was like the smallest kid in there. Like everybody.
But you got hops. I'll give you that. You got some hops. You got
Yeah.
the Jamaican athleticism.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Is that Jamaican?
Well,
Jamaicans known flyers.
Yes.
I
yes.
We have bunnies?
Yes.
I mean, okay.
Yes.
I know we're
We got
fast.
Some fast niggas.
No,
I know
over
we're
there,
fast.
for real.
Trust me.
Upper body strength, I'm not too sure.
No, no, no,
Jamaicans
I don't know
upper
if you
body
guys
strength. I
are
know we
going
have.
there.
I like them strong.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
like
Running
them
in
strong.
sand.
All right,
Yeah,
so like,
exactly.
So after,
Yo, I remember that video. Yo, your legs so strong.
Yeah, I like
What
them
video?
strongy.
what video is this?
Oh, one of my videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
I don't
died
watch-
on
I
the
don't watch your
floor.
stuff.
Oh, thanks for the support.
Oh, I don't watch your shit.
So after,
Never watched it.
You make videos?
Make
What
videos? That's what you do?
the fuck you act?
I thought you sang.
I thought you worked in a library.
What happened after high school? Where'd you go?
After high
Straight to the
school,
league.
I went straight to the league. Yeah, no, I left my house because there's some problems in my house.
Always. Promise.
It's like my first semester of college. Plus, I hated college. I hated what I was doing. So I just dropped out of that. And I was just jumping.
What were you doing?
I was jumping from couches to couch, man.
What were you doing in college?
Recreation and leisure. It was like the last program available. And
You thought it would be like leisurely?
I thought recreation and leisure had something to do with sports.
Yo, those
and-
classes names are deceiving. as
Bro,
fuck.
I had to. It was teaching you how to become
Deceiving.
the operator of a community center.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not my life.
Tell me how I took jazz
It's like
appreciation.
I
That's
know
a
who
real
runs
class.
my community
That's a
center,
real
and
class.
that nigga he's just
Chilling.
chilling.
He
Like
didn't take a course. The guys at my community center didn't take courses.
No
my
way.
brother ran the community center.
I'm very-
He took the opposite of courses.
sometimes I wonder if I actually knew anyone that worked at the community center. I think those guys might have just broken into the gym.
At my hood, everybody worked at the community center. Once you got that number
Mm.
and you were in the system, they just do their a few hours every year just to keep that
True.
number.
Yeah,
it was
no.
so weird. All right, so you were couch surfing for how long? Like
Couch surfing for probably about a year and a half.
Ah,
Yeah, in that time, I think it was like a blessing in disguise because I literally lived in every part of the GTA: Pickering, Ajax, Saga, Scarborough, downtown, up North York, you name it. I lived everywhere. Jane Shoreham.
so what was
Like-
that period like for you?
It was fun and stressful.
It was fun and stressful.
Yes, because I grew up in a very strict household.
So you
So
got- you
I
freed
there
up.
was
You
I
freed
was
up.
freed up. Free up now. Pum pum
Big
everywhere.
man thing. No,
So
yo,
I was like,
yo,
you
19, I'm
Couch
grown.
know what I mean? And
I'm
plus,
out
at
here.
the same time, I was growing my social media following.
Yep.
On Facebook. Facebook at the time was like
Yes.
the shit, and T.Wire and stuff like that. So I was
That
growing
was
it on
nice.
that. And then I figured
missed the
I
T
knew I
out
wanted
there,
to be popular in the city so that I could do something cool in the city. I didn't know what it was yet,
Yep.
but I knew I wanted to be popular in the city so I could do cool things because all the popular people were doing cool things, right?
Who were those people to you at that time?
At that time, it was like T-Rex, like One Love T.O. guys, the Remix Project guys, like all those guys downtown. You know what I mean? I remember going to the So Far Gone release party, got the email by complete accident. I don't know who sent it to me, but it was like one of those private like RSVP things. I was like, yeah. And I didn't even go for Drake. I went for LeBron because I heard LeBron was going to be there. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I get to see this guy in person? Yes. Sign me up. So I go there, and I remember I was so broken. Obviously, I'm couch surfing. I had enough money for one drink. I held that drink all night.
That ice was.
I made sure the ice got in there,
water.
fill it up a little bit more. Yo, it was deadly. And I
I know
remember
the
standing
times.
there and looking up at the VIP. There's that 6 Degrees nightclub,
Uh-huh.
Young Negligence. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I think
And the
I have.
VIP area is like an elevated stage, right?
Mm.
And it's like
Oh wait, that's
Game
where
It Off and shit.
Shuffle and Nostalgia used to
and
be.
mood music
I
and
used
all
to-
those.
yeah, I
Yeah.
used to go there.
Yeah. So you know that
Okay.
stage
Yeah, the
area.
stage. I was on the stage with T-Rex
Exactly.
going nuts one time.
That little stage area there, I'm seeing T-Rex, Brock, Brian Espiritu,
Yeah,
Drake,
yeah, all the
Nico,
guys. Photo Will.
all the shakers and movers in the city, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, yo, I gotta be able to get up there one day. Like, I gotta like know these people, get into that space, right? A couple months later, the VJ search happened.
Yep.
I didn't even
The
want to
Much
join
Music.
it. Yeah, and I didn't even
Okay.
want to join it. My
I
boy
actually
signed me up.
auditioned for it. I didn't make it. I didn't get a call
So
back.
sorry, man.
It's all good.
Hey, I didn't win either. So
Oh no, I thought that's where this was going.
no, no,
Like,
no.
I
Yeah,
didn't even
that's what you want
This is
too.
not a
I think you gotta
happy
pay
ending.
more attention
This
to your
is not
career.
a happy ending. I'm still broke. Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
But no. I He signed me up. Lath signed me up to the VJ search and got through to this top 32. Then from there was the top
Sweet
16, then the
Elite
8, and then the
Final
4 of
Four.
us got the full week to host Much on Demand live, right?
Oh.
So it was
I
like,
wish I had cable back then.
man, it was nerve-wracking. And then, I lost in the finals. I came in second. I lost
Who
to
won?
Liz Trinier.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Okay. Her career turned out all right.
I mean, right? No hard feelings.
She's doing well for herself.
But then after that, I gained a lot of following off of the VJ search, and I think I went up like 9,000 followers. And
On Facebook?
on Twitter.
On Twitter.
This one, Twitter now just come out.
Yeah. I hate
And
Twitter.
so I was going ham on Twitter, and I went back to school. I moved back home. I went back to school at Seneca at York.
Oh, my
What'd you
school.
take this
yeah,
time?
Yeah, yeah,
And this time
yeah.
I took pre-media fundamentals. So I was teaching you everything about journalism and cameras and pictures and all that stuff, right? And you could rent out a camera. So I rented out I figured out, like, if you rent it out on Thursday for the 2 days, you get to hold it the whole weekend.
Yep. I used to do that.
Right? So I'd take it out on Thursday every week. And then there was this one day we were watching this YouTube video. These 2 girls, they do a makeup channel. And they were daring their viewers to put on makeup the worst way possible and videotape it. So I'm like, yo, dog, if we do this, like, we'll finally get their attention. Because we were trying to get their attention on Twitter from time, right? And they live in L.A. And so he's like, all right, cool. We called up these girls. They brought all the makeup they could. And we just freaking went ham on camera. We posted it. They saw it first, commented. And back then, when you commented as a YouTuber, your subscribers would see it on their homepage, what video you commented on. And so
Okay.
they just go to watch it because, like, oh, my fave watched it. I must like it too.
Yeah.
And we just got so many girls just freaking
I gotta do
flooding
this.
it. So many girls just
this
flooded it, and the
notes
video
down,
went
notes.
viral. And then I'm like, yo, the next day I was like, yo, we got to do another video. Like, everybody in the comments, like, do another video. And I'm like, he's like, what are we going to talk about? I was like, I don't know, let's talk about, like, masturbating or something. And we did that. Made that
Shock
video. I think I made 3 videos in that one night. Made masturbation video. I made a video about how to charge your BlackBerry faster, because at that time nobody knew about the airplane mode trick. And then that went viral. And then there was something, I can't remember what it was.
You
but
look like you just found out about that right now. Look at him. Yo, you're putting him onto
Yo,
all
what?
kinds of game right now.
Airplane
mode, you
say.
That's
But yeah.
a good idea.
You got your notepad?
It's my pen.
And then, the masturbation video got on World Star, and then everything just went off from there. And then shit Toronto people say Drake tweeted, and things kept happening.
Okay, so you're couch surfing, book ended with the So Far Gone party. Now it starts to pick up. At what point does this become an option for you as like a career? And when did you finish school?
I didn't. Left out first semester again.
Whoa. Okay. Bump
Moved
that.
downtown. I just realized school wasn't for me at that time.
Yeah.
I was not in that mindset.
This is such a familiar story.
I got a job. I moved downtown, and when I was downtown is when I started making like shit Toronto people say, shit Jamaican people say, and things were just taking off from there. And I still didn't know what I was doing. I knew that the YouTube stuff was working. I was getting recognition for it. I was hosting parties all of a sudden, parties that I used to, because when I was couch surfing, the only job I had was promoting clubs. Like that's the quickest money I could get. And so now I'm going from promoting these parties to being the host of these parties. So I'm like, okay, this is way easier. Like, I'm making money,
Really?
cool. And then
How did you make the jump to hosting parties? Someone said, "Hey, yo, I saw you on TV."
people know about YouTube videos. People just saw the YouTube videos and were like, yo, you want to host this party, blah, blah, blah. And they'd put me on the flyer, and then
Yeah.
I just show up. And then I think it was like 2013 or 14, I went to Miami, and I had something happened, and I had to pay something that like took all my funds that I had, and I wasn't getting paid for another 2 or 3 days. So I had to like be in Miami for 2 or 3 days broke, right? And I remember going on my YouTube, and I had applied for a partnership, and they sent the pin, so all I had to do was put it in. I put in the pin, and there's $1,100 just waiting for me. And I'm like, what?
Jesus.
I'm like, you can make that kind of
Sweet
money off
Jesus.
this? This is stupid.
So you got
And
the
then
money? Like how many
I got
days?
the money right away.
So how many days did you have to go broke in Miami?
None.
So like when you realized you were broke,
It
the
went
money
into
showed
my
up.
account. Yeah.
The law of attraction.
Crazy. And that happened. There's so many of that in my life. It's insane.
Serendipitous.
Yeah, a lot of synchronicity. And then,
love
yeah, from there I came back home, and I remember I was doing a dishwashing job. I went on break, and like in between break, I'm wearing my dishwashing uniform and everything. In between me going to the restaurant, I took like 3 different pictures. 3 different people stopped me for pictures, and I'm like in my work uniform and shit. I'm just like, this is doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm taking pictures. People want pictures of me, and I'm washing dishes in the back of a
Yo, did you
restaurant.
hit him with the Scarface and wrap the thing and throw it at him?
I didn't throw it. I just took it off. I took it off.
To his fans.
I took a more subtle. I took a more subtle approach. I got back to work, and I took off my uniform, and I just put it down and like slid out the back. I don't know what happened to those people. I don't know who washed dishes that night. God bless them.
After eating on dirty plates that day.
I left.
What? I love
Made
that
a
story.
video every
That's a good
single
story.
day for the rest of the month until I made my rent, and then I was like, all right, I can do this,
Grind.
and I just kept grinding like that until I could slow down a bit.
All right, so what's your favorite video you've done?
That's difficult. I have so many.
Do you want to do top 3? I
Not-
think your best 3 videos are all the times you showed up on the Hangout and talked basketball.
Horrible.
What?
It's a horrible show, horrible concept, horrible
Wow.
host. No, I
don't know if that's a
I
joke.
think my favorite might be one I'm not even in.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a video about wastemans, and it's like it's a hotline for wastemans. Basically, it's 1-800 wasteman is the video.
And you're not in it?
I'm not in
Were you
it.
party to the production of it?
I wrote every one of my videos is my writing, my concept. I shoot.
Okay, so
them,
this is one of your
and
videos.
Yeah, I was shooting it. I was.
You
a
have a
camera guy
single
and all that
Waste
stuff.
Man. You have a rap record.
Yeah,
you have a couple
song
rap
called Waste
records.
Man, yeah, with Femi. Yeah,
That's not new to your fans.
I have Wasteman, Bada Bada, Never That. Girls
like
Love
reggae
Instagram.
songs.
Yeah, I got 2 reggae songs.
There's like
Okay.
a slow Drake song that's hilarious.
Girls Love Instagram. Yeah,
that one
that's
is
my favorite
fucking
song. That's my
funny,
favorite song. Yeah, of all the ones I've done, that's my favorite. Dominoes. That one actually crazy. If you go look at the comments, people are like, "Yo, I just heard this on the radio in Seattle. Yo, I just heard this." I'm like,
Yeah.
"What? Where's my money?"
Yeah, so, I was just gonna say, where's my
That's
money
just
though?
playing my records out on the radio.
Payola, baby.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so what advice would you give somebody getting into this YouTube? Because like I'm doing it. Look at this. Like, what are you gonna tell people about this YouTube video meme game?
You gotta stay consistent, but you also like, I don't know, to really flourish. A lot of time, if you want to flourish quickly, you gotta sell your soul.
Yep.
If you're willing to stay the course and just grind it out,
Yeah.
over
long
time,
play.
you could still, as long as you're consistent and the product is good. But if you're one of those people that think you're just gonna get on YouTube and then just take off,
I'm not.
it's very rare that
No?
those situations happen.
Not gonna happen.
Especially in this day and age where there's so much content. There's over 1 billion
Saturated.
1 billion hours of content uploaded a day.
Most of it's cat videos though.
Regardless, those
cat
videos are making the most
making
views.
Tons of dough.
They're making the most views.
Yo, those
Ooh.
are the weirdest ones that make tons of dough.
Oh, okay, we're watching March Madness, by the way. Tennessee versus Purdue 2-point game. So Marlon's gonna be a little bit distracted.
I think he just got
1:47
fouled on a
o'clock.
3-point shot. That's
Oh.
wild.
These could be free throws for the game.
Yep.
All right.
So
well,
then, yeah, basically, if you're gonna be on YouTube now, you got to understand censorship is huge because there's
Oh, yeah.
a thing called the
They-
adpocalypse, where a lot of the biggest advertisers pulled out because they didn't realize that their videos, their
Were
ads
running
were being
before.
run on certain videos that were not in line with their company's
and
values.
YouTube's a private company, so they pulled a lot of people off. Jordan Peterson, a
Yep.
University of Toronto
Yep.
professor, who's known to be right-leaning at times, he got pulled off.
Mhm.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, they're banning a lot of things. You can't even put anything sexually
Don't say anything
related.
Don't say anything controversial, especially something like. You can't say that anymore. That kind of stuff will get you in trouble.
I had a video called Mute R. Kelly,
What was the concept?
demonetized.
Oh, just because you were talking about R. Kelly?
Wow. Just maybe because it was in the title.
That's it.
I'm gonna name this episode
It's Mute R.
R.
Kelly. There's
Crazy.
nothing sexual.
That's
There's
crazy.
like,
Well, you just
and
put it up and it just
it's
got
a
demonetized?
positive hashtag. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
I was like, okay, your values don't lie with the victims.
They seen how R. Kelly was making tons of dough off like that whole show coming
So
out.
but like one of the things with YouTube was like it was a place for like terrorists to put up like recruitment.
There's a lot
videos
of.
and stuff.
I don't think
So
people
do you
understand.
disagree with how they're moving?
I don't think a lot of people understand how much, like, videos that are horrible,
Yeah.
like absolutely horrible, you don't ever see because there are people who have the worst job ever, which is going through all day. They're flipping through videos of people getting beheaded, people getting raped, child pornography.
But there's so many that get through. They're just named different.
But that's the thing.
And
These people are
100,000
sitting
people see
down
them
going
first.
through hundreds and thousands of these a
That's
day.
something we need an algorithm for.
And they like you gotta understand like it's a difficult job and you're not gonna catch everything. So
You're not gonna catch everything.
it's
Society's changing.
it's rough.
Speaking of society changing, marijuana is legal. That's quite the development in Toronto.
Yeah.
Now that everyone wasn't smoking.
Gross.
But-
Am I right? Huh? Am I right?
Personally, I don't touch the
Weed.
stuff.
Ugh.
Weed.
I don't even know how to spell it. Mary and then wanna.
Yeah. What was your reaction to this decision? Because it's the first of many when you think about the shift in our culture. in
First
Ontario.
reaction?
Yeah. What's your initial reaction? Like, yes.
That was my initial
Bup.
Toronto reaction was and then I sat down and I thought about it a little bit more. I was like,
Yeah. Does your life really change?
I mean,
A lot of tax dollars.
I smoked on road
Does our
all
life
the
really
time.
change?
Yeah.
I smoked on road all
Yeah.
the time. I'm one of those people. I'm the friend that like people are like, "Yo, what are you
Can you-
doing?
can
You're
you
smoking here? Like, yo, chill. Like, yo, look
yeah.
over there, dude. There's people looking at us. White
Yeah.
people are walking back. Like, I don't care. I smoke if I want to smoke, where I want to smoke. So it's like, it doesn't really change much for me. I like the dispensaries and I like that they're letting privatized stores do their
Are they
thing
even though?
after April. Yeah,
There's some suspicion about that. You had to like win a lottery to get a store.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
You did. You actually had to apply to like. you
Yeah,
had to
but it's not
pay
a
to
real
get-
lottery.
It's not a real
It's not
lottery.
a
You have
real
to pay like,
lottery.
the money first.
Of course,
And then.
they need to make money off
Yeah.
you.
No.
You gotta pass numerous background
It's
checks.
a fake lottery tech
Yeah, it's a fake
thing, so
lottery.
that you pay the money.
Yeah.
And the new one now is liquor will be available in stores.
It is available in stores.
No, they're expanding it to big box
To
stores
liquor,
and convenience stores, and that's a
Can't wait till that murder rate spikes up.
You know,
Hey.
I heard that there's like a negative cost to each community when you like allow gambling or liquor or whatever. I heard for Toronto it's $5 billion in terms of like
Gambling?
broken homes, loss of
Vandalism,
employment, vandalism,
Crime.
healthcare. Like the cost currently without all this stuff is $5 billion.
Oh,
People
yeah.
don't understand little
In
change
lost
like that
wages.
can just switch the
Switch up,
entire.
fuck up tons of families.
You think about it, a guy earns $70,000. He's an alcoholic. His life falls apart. That's $70,000 out of the economy,
Mhm.
including tax money. It's trippy.
Yep.
That's wild.
Creating
Well,
a lot more
government makes
homeless
money off
people,
that.
enabling a lot more homeless to continue.
Yeah, but the
staying
government's got to
homeless.
spend that money to take care of those people. We're going to open up shelters because Toronto's cold. Is
Take care.
Yeah.
bringing it back to Drake. All right, so let's talk about something more upbeat because I see the energy kind of dying. Talking about all these real issues. But we will be talking about this stuff a lot on this show. Alcohol and marijuana. legalization.
Marijuana.
So your next stop is comedian.
Yes.
Who's your?
I mean, it's been my first stop.
So I'm friends with comedian Tricks.
Oh, you mean like just stand-up comedy?
stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
And you, what is that? Is that Mitch?
That
That's
is-
Mitch. This is
that
our
is
other
Mitch.
co-host, Mitch. We're live on air, Mitch. What do you have to say to the people? Oh, he said he'll be here in 5 minutes. Okay, he said no, 10 minutes. Okay, we'll wait for you. 15. Bye. What was I asking you?
You were asking.
No, I was talking
me-
about Tricks.
Oh.
And did you open up for him?
Yes, I opened up from last week.
And he said that you did an amazing job. You've grown so much. Did you do an amazing job?
I
you
did.
grow a lot?
It was my favorite time on stage, easily.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You felt
So
the most
far.
comfortable?
Yeah, for sure. I went on stage because usually I got to get the joke off right off the top.
Yeah.
But I want the joke to not be scripted. I don't want to think of the joke before I go up there. I want
Oh, so you want
something.
something organic from that
Yeah.
moment.
So I went up there and I was like, okay, let me look for it. I'm like, is it gonna be a person? Is it gonna be a thing? And first, it was like the guy before me, Mark. He's a tall guy, so the mic stand was too tall. I'm like, this nigga tall as shit. So I had that, and then when I realized like being on stage, how close at absolute comedy, Young and Eglinton.
Oh yeah, been
People
there.
in the front row are just like
They're
dick
in your
level.
lap.
So I was like,
Ooh,
I just
good way
gotta
to
bring
describe
this
it.
up because it's like an elephant in the room. It's like my
The
dick is
elephant in the
right.
room.
Yeah, you got that?
Yeah, got it.
But yeah, no, I was like, I could dick slap this whole front row if I wanted to. I'm just saying, I got a mean left,
Oh, that's gross.
and then
I
yeah,
don't want to visualize.
that was a good icebreaker.
Yeah, that'll definitely like break the room up.
I like when people do things in the audience that are irregular.
Yeah, that helps.
Oh, I
like
said,
when guests
do we
do
got
things.
West Indies in here? We got West Indies? Everybody's like, yeah. One guy in the back went, hey, hey. I was like,
What's up,
okay,
Getting
sir,
hyped.
sir. They don't even feed the dogs in
Start
Jamaica.
beating the
This
furnace
is
and
ridiculous.
Start thumping the furnace like a basement.
If I had
party.
more time, I would have went ham. But
How much time did you get?
I was supposed to do 7 minutes, and then when I got there, Trick was like, you got 5. I was like, okay. Yeah,
You
because
killed
another
5.
comedian came, Jean Paul.
How does it feel? Does that 5 minutes feel like an hour up there, or does it go by fast?
Depends on how your set's going.
If it's
Yeah,
a bad
if
set,
it's going bad,
If it's a
20
bad
hours.
a
set,
day.
yeah. If it's a bad set, it feels like you're up there for way too long. If it's a good set,
You didn't even notice.
you didn't even with it. Me, every time I have a good set, which is like,
All
thank
the
God
damn
it's
time.
been 98% of the time. I just want to be back on stage. Like I'll be sitting in the back just shaking like I want to
Go
fucking
back up.
So
like
talk.
oh man, after that one, Trix's show, I want to go up and do another hour because I could at that
You
point
wanted to tape your special.
at that point I could have just went up there and just started talking shit.
Riffing.
Yeah.
Chappelle style.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the 2% of the time. When was that? What was?
It was a venue that was not a stand-up comedy venue.
Oh.
So I already knew going there that it wasn't going to be a good set for no reason of my own. Because sometimes I think comedians think that it's their fault that they weren't funny.
Yeah.
I never think I'm not funny. I think
I
you're the
often
problem.
think you're not
Crowd.
funny, but
Yeah,
okay.
if you're not laughing, I think you're the problem because I'm funny, and I'm sorry. That's how I feel, and but the room can also dictate that as well. People don't get that if you're in a place that's not traditional comedy setting, also with people who don't go to comedy shows traditionally.
Yeah,
So there are people in the back
inexperienced audience.
speaking while I was on stage. There were people
Don't do that.
doing hookah in a corner. There are people rolling up. Like there's just a lot going
It's
on.
Toronto.
I'm on a stage that was a stripper stage. It's
Oh,
just a
nice.
circle
It's a little
with
circle.
the pole. You could see where the
Pole
pole
hole.
was. The
Yes.
pole hole's there. I could have twisted my ankle. It would have been bad. And so like
Did
then
you dress the pole hole?
the whole place was dark. There was no spotlight on stage. There was like club lights
Get
in
that
the
stripper lighting.
yeah. And there's art on the walls.
They want you to just get there and start shaking your ass.
Just strange art on the. I brought that up.
Y'all expect me to strip?
I was like, I don't want to diss this venue, but guys, like, what am I
Come
doing
on.
here?
Why are we here?
Why does this look like Belly? It doesn't make any sense. The opening scene, like,
So who are your comedy gods? I know Patrice O'Neill because me and you've talked
Yeah.
profusely about him.
Patrice O'Neill, George Carlin,
Carlin. Young people don't know him.
Eddie Griffith.
Oh, I don't like Eddie Griffith.
Yeah, I feel he's a black George Carlin.
Okay.
If you watch his specials, they're very similar. They don't stop speaking. They drop knowledge, and they talk about things you've never read about. It doesn't make any sense, and still somehow bring it back to comedy. They're geniuses.
No, Griffin's funny, man.
Louis C.K., Bill Burr,
Burr's hilarious.
Burr's
too.
hilarious. Chappelle's
Yeah.
God.
Chappelle is a god.
Did you listen to
obviously.
Did you listen to Louis' last one, the one that
Yep.
came out after? I thought it was
Amazing,
hilarious.
fucking
It was
hilarious, man.
hilarious.
I'm not.
Are
I'm
we
not-
allowed to say we
I'm
laughed at
a
it?
stand-up comedian. I don't give a fuck. Like anything can be funny.
Yeah.
Anything.
And everything is unfunny to someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like with comedians, I think people forget that we are the people who find the line for everyone else.
Yes.
Like we tell
Yeah,
the
you gotta
truth
push that
so
line.
much that we talk about some fucked up shit sometimes. That's just what it is. We're fucked up people for the most part. We gotta be. In order to have the point of view of a comedian, you gotta be kind of fucked up because
Or kind of smart.
Wait, hold on. I want a wide shot. Let's go to. Yeah, there it is.
I'm
that
reversing
shirt's
time.
ridiculous.
I'm reversing time.
You look exactly the same.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I didn't like a year ago.
All
I've been in
yeah.
the gym. It's
Just in
working
case you're
out.
wondering, we've been looking at Marlon's reel the entire time.
He's
He's
my
never around.
dog.
All right, so Mitch is about to knock, so I think we're going to wrap this thing up. We don't take up too much of your time. Where are you going tonight? What are you doing tonight?
I am going to Apartment 200 for the pre-party for WizKids concert tomorrow.
All right, the podcast is going to come out after that. What do you got going on the weekend?
The weekend. I got a charity
week.
game.
What?
Charity basketball
Soccer?
game
Oh.
on soccer. I got a charity basketball game. Can you believe that's the Me Too woman? I got a charity basketball game on. I'm sorry.
No comment.
I
was gonna
That's what I
say
said.
something,
You have a charity basketball game. Yo, all right, hold
That's
on.
crazy.
Tell them while I open the door for Mitch.
Who risked their
Whoa.
entire career?
If I look too much, I'm gonna say something I shouldn't say.
Who risked their entire career? Let's be real. We
Yo.
gotta question that. We gotta ask these questions.
Wow.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. Mitch is here.
We got a charity basketball
yes,
game
Mitch.
with a bunch of different influencers on Saturday evening. It's gonna be really dope.
Get Mitch on camera showing up late. And that's how we're going to end the episode. Episode 2.
Thank you for
Why are you
having
going to
us.
walk in front of the camera? Mitch, all right. Mitch is fired.
I gotta be in it, baby. If I'm late, I made it,
Say
baby.
something,
I
say something.
gotta say something for the people.
What are you going to say?
I'll never be late again.
I thought he was gonna
Everybody-
rap.
Everybody.
He's,
that
he's
posture.
holding it.
The way I'm
He's
holding
got
it, right?
that, like,
Yeah, I want to say something to the people real quick.
Okay.
he looks like
Oh, yo, check it.
he looks like Joel Ortiz. Do you have a question? Do you want to
He
get a
looks like
question?
Joel Ortiz.
We're wrapping up. Do you want to get a question in
with
before?
Fred Van Fleet
Or Fred Van Vliet.
Offspring.
Yeah, your Fred Van Vliet's son. Can I
Or
wrap it up?
A$AP
Okay. That's,
Yams.
all right. Sorry, guys. Mitch said wrap it up. Wrap it up. Peace.